they're making another massive diversity push in Doctor Who, and the media is like covering up for it, and of course shilling for it. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on in the news over the last few days for Doctor Who, and then of course what IGN and their conclusion is as they try to push this agenda. It does go to show, and it's just more confirmation that these media agencies shill for these companies, that they just push their narratives, and that it is coordinated, because it's very obvious. Like, why else would IGN be writing an article like this amid this push right here? But some new announcements coming out of Doctor Who. Yay. Are you even watching anymore? I guess I have to. I have to, my friends. Gosh, crazy stuff. My name's John Delarose, everybody, and of course, this is a channel for your Doctor Who news and all science fiction news and information. Thank you guys so much for making our channel a huge success over the last few months. We've hit 35,000 subscribers over this week, and I appreciate you for being there. Please smash that like button, hit the subscribe, join us here. Hopefully, we earn your support, and I appreciate all you folk for hanging around and being here. You've been amazing. It's a wonderful community. As much as these people call you the toxic fandom or whatever, you're not. You're just real fans who actually love science fiction, and it shows. It really shows. This is my Fandom Pulse. I write these articles every morning, and I have this in the description as well. If you want to sign up there, you get the articles that I write, and that kind of makes us a little different than other YouTube channels as well, as we're breaking a lot of these stories that other people have not seen yet, and I appreciate those folk who sign up too. I'm also a science fiction writer, and I've got a trilogy right here, which is a space trilogy, The Stars Entwined, and it's a spy thriller in space. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, if you like super spies going in and fighting an alien war, it's a lot of fun. Grab this whole trilogy. It's available on print, ebook, and audio for you. I'll have that in the description below, and I'm writing a new book that's spinning out of this. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being there. All right, I set up the Doctor Who news. If you have not been following Doctor Who for whatever reason over the last couple of years, Doctor Who's now been replaced by a gay black man who just acts nothing like the Doctor character. It's an abomination. It's a completely different show at this point. We call it like the Disney Plus era, because Disney Plus is funding this, and it's very clear what their agenda is when they do this type of thing, of course. It's been riddled with identity politics, not just from the Doctor, but from everything they've done ever since Russell T Davies came back for the 60th anniversary special. And I thought it was bad with the Jodie Whittaker era, which we're going to get into in a bit, but it's even worse now. They put a transgender character in, calling him Rose, just to gaslight fans at that level. The next weird gaslighting of fans was they cast an Indian guy as Sir Isaac Newton, a historical figure, who was clearly not Indian. And they're doing it just to rub things in your faces. I just say that this agenda is everything. And they're really pushing the Indian demographic. I'm wondering if they're trying really, really hard to try to find a new audience, because this audience is tuning out so quickly with everything that's going on. We know that this first season with Gatwa was just a disaster on that level, and this came out this summer. They're doing a spin-off series called The War Between the Land and the Sea with Gugu Magabatha Ra. I don't know if I'm not even going to try. She was Martha Jones's sister from the old series, if you guys remember back in the day. I don't think she's playing the same character, oddly enough. I don't know why they're doing that and just putting her in another role. But you see that this is coming out. Like, we've got the gay black doctor. We're going to have the lesbian black spin-off series, right? With the lead. And it's obviously intentional at this point. Obviously very intentional. And with what's coming up in this next season, they are, of course, replacing Millie Gibson, the blonde girl, with another Indian. An Indian lady is going to be playing the new companion in the second season. And they made two announcements this week that kind of follow up on this just like complete, British person erasal of Doctor Who. It's no longer a British program. It's no longer recognizable whatsoever. And this is what they're doing. So this comes from, first, the Big Finish audio drama, which is Doctor Who Most Wanted. And this features Joe Martin, who, if you don't know who this is, I made a joke on Twitter that, like, why is Whoopi Goldberg playing the Doctor? But if you don't know who this is, this was a character that was introduced in the Jodie Whittaker era, who was like a part of the history of the Doctor, who was like she was like a Black Ops doc. Funny, she's called Black Ops. I don't know why they do. They're so on the nose. It's painful. But a Doctor who was like in a Black Ops program of Time Lords, and apparently this existed prior to William Hartnell being the first Doctor, and so this is like prior to the first Doctor. She's really the first Doctor was really a black woman. Everybody, of course, right? And so I'm going to show you the media reaction to this and the absolute gaslighting of fans. I'll get back to this in just a moment. There's one more announcement we do need to cover first. Yet another Indian woman. You see this here. Like, I mean, we got Sir Isaac Newton, then we got the companion. Now we have Archie Punjabi, who's going to be a villain in the new series. Also an Indian woman and then the BBC is giving no information about her or what she's playing, just leaning into identity politics again. So I don't know. I don't know that there's a huge Indian demographic who's going to be watching Doctor Who, but I mean, I guess that's what they're going for at this point. That seems to be very, very clear based on those three things. You know, when you've got three of them, it's definitely a pattern. It's definitely intentional. It's not something that's by accident at this point. And so this casting happened, and we'll see what happens. I really think season 2 is going to have even lower ratings than season 1 because when you remove Millie Gibson, she's like the only watchable part of the show, to be honest. The one episode where Gatwa wasn't in it, which was the 73 yards, where it just starred her, it was like the only one that was decent in the entire series. And Russell T Davies actually, didn't follow up, didn't do a great job on the writing of that, but it was still watchable because of that. So you see the trends here. It's all exactly the same. It looks exactly the same. They call it diversity, but it's anything but diversity. It's just the erasure of British culture, and it's intentional. And it is it is a campaign meant to demoralize you, meant to just make you think that everything's bleak, and to get you basically to tune out and stop voting and stop caring, so that the new masters here can take over. Is really what it's all about. It's that cynical, and it is. It's the cultural items. It all plays into politics. It all plays into this globalist New World Order thing. It is very intentional. That's why Disney's involved here. Disney would not be involved with all this stuff if that was not the case. That evil corporation is trying to stretch its tendrils across everything. And sorry for the rant, but it has to be done. It really does. Now, here's the gaslighting that's going on with this fugitive doctor thing. And this is why I said the media absolutely does try to gaslight fans. They do this stuff intentionally. It is coordinated. IGN, as this news comes out from the Big Finish that they're bringing back the fugitive doctor and expanding things out, comes out with this bizarre article saying William Hartnell was never considered the first Doctor. What? I mean, this is insane. This level of gaslighting is so terrible. And you could see as they give some evidence here, where they talk about how his original version to be the first Doctor. This technically isn't true. Throughout the show's extensive history, there have been plenty of different writers and showrunners in charge of the project. Each one has made dramatic changes to the canon that make it difficult to understand where every single version of the Doctor sits on the timeline. It's actually pretty easy to understand. It's been simple this entire time. But now they're trying to muddy everything because they don't want the British old guy, a white guy, to be the first Doctor. They want you to consider this the first Doctor. They want everything to be first. This is always part of the woke agenda too. Everything they have to do has to be the first. It has to be the newest. And they want you to forget history, erase history. It's always year zero with everything they do. That's why they actually call, if you look at it, it's another gaslight. They call the Ncuti Gatwa stuff season 1. That's never been done in any of this Doctor Who stuff this entire time. When Matt Smith came in, they didn't call it season 1. That never happened. And so the reason that they're doing that, of course, is to try to differentiate it and pretend it's its own new show and pretend that the old stuff never existed. And that's what this kind of gaslighting from the media is doing also. There's nobody out there who's a Doctor Who fan who doesn't consider William Hartnell the first Doctor. That's insane. Honestly, if anything, they look at what was implied with the Jodie Whittaker stuff, and this does go on to talk about the fugitive Doctor and how she, quote, came before Hartnell, and that's what it's supposed to talk about. But people consider Jodie Whittaker and the Chibnall era to be not canon because they screwed things up so much. The Timeless Child was an abomination. It ruined the Time Lord stuff. That's really where the fall of all this came from. And since then, Doctor Who's not been the same. So don't let them gaslight you. It is a gaslighting thing. It is a media trick. It is a globalist sort of agenda to demoralize you. But all you have to do is just reject this stuff, keep speaking out, because eventually they'll lose their power. They really will. We're making a bunch of waves in 2024, getting a bunch of wins. And guess what? This still has not been renewed for a third season, this Gatwa abomination of Doctor Who. And if the ratings keep pushing lower, you can guarantee that Disney's going to pull out because they can't lose that kind of money. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Also subscribe to the Fandom Pulse Substack. I'll put that in the description below. And grab some great science fiction for your weekend read on print, ebook, or audio, whatever way you like to do it. Grab The Stars Entwined and its 2 sequels on Amazon today. I really appreciate you for being there.